public service announcement. If you don't like big people, or if you're afraid of big people in general, why the fuck are you following them or talking to them on social media? Like, anyways, so my intro for today is a little bit different because I wanted to address some things before I started this episode. This episode shows like a lot of greatness of the things that I've done with my team here at the Plug Network Online for the past, 2 weeks. Everything that I've done, right? But people have this idea about shit being misconstrued, about how you have to present yourself and how you have to look to be a personality, or to be in the media, or to be on TV. Like, okay, yeah, I'm thick, I'm big. Everybody knows that. That's why the show is called Thicker Thoughts. But I can fix that. I can always go to the gym and lose weight. That's something that I can always fix about myself. My friend always says, right, I'm big, I'm thick, but I can lose weight. That's something I can fix. But you can't fix dumb, you can't fix ugly. If you're dumb, you're never gonna be able to fix that you're dumb. You're just a stupid person. Nine times out of 10, you worry about, since you're worrying about how people look, you're worried about how people look instead of worrying about enhancing your intelligence and enhancing your motor skills and enhancing your morality as a person. If you ugly, I'm sorry, you were born ugly. But you can fix that. You can fix it. But being ugly or being big or being different has nothing to do with your intelligence and the person who you are on the inside. Not being small or being cute or being whatever has not gotten me to any platform that I've met in life. None of that has helped me do that. Being cute did not help me graduate from college. Being cute does not help me do my job. Matter of fact, I just got a promotion. Shout out to me. I got a new job and I start my new job next Tuesday. But being cute and being small has not gotten me to that platform, of where I needed to be. I went through a dark period a couple months ago and I created this space called Thicker Thoughts for women who specifically go through this type of shit. But the sad thing is that we have women in the same community as us that like to put down other women, which it don't make sense to me. Like, I had a guy tell me, "Oh, you got a big butt, but it's unacceptable but being that big is unacceptable." No, what's unacceptable is that if you don't like fat people, you following me to know that I'm that big. And you're following me to know that my butt is big. So if you don't like it, then it's easy. Just unfollow me and don't watch no more of my shit. I'm not trying to be like, I don't know, some of these damn supermodels that starve like Victoria's Secret angels that don't eat enough food in a day They curve their cravings because they want to, suffice that. I mean, if they want to do that and that's what makes them happy, modeling and their gig is what makes them happy, then they should do that. But I'm not trying to be like that. I have a more intellectual and realer platform than solely based upon walking for my looks. Now, I have a cousin that's a model, and not only is she a model, she's a stylist, she's smart. She has everything. She just got it going on. Shout out to her. Shout out to you, Christina Lee. Shout out to you. But never once has my cousin, who is in the beauty industry, looked at me and told me, Well, maybe if you lose 15 pounds, you'd be successful in media. No, because the world just ain't like that no more. Anyways, y'all make sure y'all stay tuned in every Friday at 10 p.m. to see what my fat ass is gonna do next. Because my fat ass does great shit. So, this week, I really done, like this past 2 weeks, I missed y'all last week because I was really doing a lot. And I ended up getting a migraine, and the migraines are like attacking me, right? So, I went to Charles Booker's rally, and I'm gonna be talking about that. It was just like, I've never seen so much greatness go on. And I met this representative from our city. And it just shows like how diverse, we have came in our system in government, how we govern our communities. And I feel like it's important, because I want to encourage people to go out into our communities and get to know about our communities and what's going on in our communities, because those are the type of things that help you pick the right candidate that you want to pick on the ballot or that you want to support. So when I went to the Booker rally, I saw many African American people who were showing their support towards a campaign that spoke to them. There are not many campaigns in Kentucky that speak specifically to the hood, but also help the people in the country understand the people in the hood too, or bring them all in one space to be able to coincide with each other and understand that we have something in common. There are not a lot of people that were able to do that. So, it made me feel over excited to be there and to just witness being there in the moment. Like, I've never seen anything like this in my life. I had never been to this was my first time going to a political rally. I have never went to a political rally in my life. And it was just a breathtaking experience for me. It was awesome. And just being able to be there and soak in the moment, like Booker said, he was talking about where he was from. And that's something like big for me, because one day I too want to be able to say, get up on a stage and say, and inspire people and say, hey, I'm this girl. Oh, let me not forget, I'm this fat ass girl that came from Louisville, that turned their dreams into a reality. That saw, I've been through shit in life. Everybody goes through shit. I lost my father at the age of 8 to suicide. And it kind of like, my father was into philanthropy and giving back to people. Especially, he was real big on Big Brother, Big Sister campaign. Well, the Big Brother, Big Sister organization. He was in Black Achievers. He was also nominated for some other awards. But it just made me think about, people who get into that community and do stuff. Anybody can be a regular cat in the community, right? But it takes a real man or a real woman to get out into their community, be a mentor, fix the problems that they have in their community, especially with the kids. Like, I know I didn't get you to take out this clip, but my mentor in the past 2 events, shout out to Jordan Jetson, but my mentor has like been there. Like, my life mentor, Jordan Jetson, has been there. Like, and it's crazy because he don't even know that I'm gonna be there. And then he's there and we just running into each other, and it's just like a casual run in. And it just makes it feel much more realer. You know that it's a genuine connection when you running into those people, you know, as a mentor, like Jordan, as a mentor, you seeing me at the same places that I'm seeing you, that means that you have done your job as a mentor, like we meeting here. So it's like, it's just dope. It's a elated feeling to me, you know, to have these powerful Black people come, even in politics, and come up and, you know, show their communities that they're doing something to change what's going on in other, not only in their life, but in other people's lives. And that's what was on me through this whole experience. Like, people would lay down what's going on in their own life, put themselves on the line for our communities here. And I don't think that a lot of people are real enough to, like, realize that. Like, it's people, I don't get into politics. That ain't my thing. You don't have to get into politics to understand what's real about somebody. That's apparent, but you have to not be ignorant enough to only get on social media to look at bad bitches and big booties and money and rappers and cars and fast life shit. Cause that's not the stuff that's enhancing your community and making things a better life form for you. These politicians out here like Charles Booker, these are the people that are fighting for you. These are the people that are helping your community be a better place when you walk outside of your door. We're going to commercial. I'll see y'all when we get back. We're back from commercial, and I'm talking about my fabulous past 2 weeks. Since I missed you guys last week, so I'm giving you all an update. So basically, you know, I was saying that everybody is worried about the looks of things, like the looks of things. We don't worry about the looks of things, but you're not worrying about the causes of the looks. Like, I don't know, that makes no sense to me. Like, okay, I met a lot of rappers this week, in the past 2 weeks. I met so many music artists. Shout out to DJ Slick and the Kentucky Urban Entertainment Awards for having me. It was a blast. I met a lot of rappers this week, but these are people outside of how they look. These are people. They have lives, you know? They're doing great things. But what people don't understand is that it took something for them to get to this point. They didn't just wake up and say, oh, I want to get to this point. They had to sacrifice and struggle. And behind every face, is a real person. They have emotions and feelings, and they really got like stories. Like they really put in the time and put in the grind. And I met some really dope people. Shout out to Dane. This is him right here. Shout out to him. And even with our coming up youth, these are the B&E steppers. Shout out to y'all. Y'all my young bulls. Shout out to y'all. Even though y'all had all the high school kids come swarm my Instagram page. I'm on y'all about that. But y'all cool people, Like, it was really dope because back in the day, I used to be a teen rapper. And that's how I met my mentor, Jordan Jetson. But I used to be a teen rapper. And maybe, one day I might just do a cypher on my show. Like, have an actual cypher. To bring out all of my dope friends that are dope freestyle artists like myself. But, pouring into the community, pouring into the youth produces products like these kids right here who are making music, who are out here, not only are they making music, I can tell, they go into school, they're 14, 15 years old. 18, one of them's 18 too. But they're doing dope things in life, and it's not because they had to drive by themselves. I'm pretty sure they had mentors and people that poured into them and loved them. It's the same thing with politics. Our communities didn't get here on their own. We had people who poured into our communities, Black people who worked hard to get us here. Even with me wanting to step out and do my podcast, I had people that I looked up to, people that poured into me, like my cousin Amir. He poured into me and told me I was going through a real, real bad breakup. And I was like, I don't know what to do with, blah, 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 blah. And I decided to take everything that I had, and I was like, look, I'm going to put it into my podcast. And this is what I'm going to do. Everything that I've been holding back from saying for the past 9 months, a year, I'm going to talk about it here. I'm going to talk about fat phobia. I'm going to talk about colorism. I'm going to talk about politics. I'm going to talk about our community. I'm going to talk about all of those things on this show. But I just thought it was amazing to see all these people come from different parts of Kentucky in one community and see the grind of our people, of African-American people. To see how hard they work, see all of these hard-working African-American people who are creatives in Kentucky, young creatives, old creatives, come together in one space and network and get to know each other. I have never, even with me doing journalism, I've been doing journalism. I started going to school for journalism in 2017. I did radio in 2017. 2017 I did radio. 2017 through 2018 I did radio. But I was never able to connect with other African Americans in the media, in the music industry, or in the creative industry itself. I never was able to really connect with these folks because of the marginalized lines that we have in Kentucky. It makes it hard. It makes it hard. Even if you try to step out there on a limb, you gotta go through some type of being the only Black person, But now it's wonderful because we have spaces and we have these safe spots that people are creating for people like us to come in and be celebrated and be congratulated about. So it was dope for me to be on the red carpet. I ain't gonna lie. I was nervous. My feet, how when you wear something and it's have you ever seen Norbit and her shoe pop? How somebody have Air Max? I had a teacher, right? And she had some Air Max and they popped. I felt like my heel was gonna do that. I say I was in my heels for 4 hours? I was just standing there God. Oh, there's more people? But it was like a real life-changing experience for me. Like, I always watch award shows on TV and stuff like that. And I was like, I could never do that. And then when I did it, it was a rewarding experience. Like, when you do stuff, when people tell you that you can't do anything or you can't do something, it's a rewarding feeling when you actually do it and you fuck off. But that was dope. And it was a really surreal experience, especially to meet women that I feel like I connect with. I met a podcaster at the media night. Her name is Ash Marie. Shout out to her. But it's women like her that are in the field, in the media, that make me feel like I'm accepted here. You know? That make me feel comfortable in who I am and what I'm doing. Seeing people like her evolve in their journey and just being around their energy makes me feel like I have, a place here. Because when I first started out doing journalism, I felt like I did not have a place. And I first started out wanting to work in the media industry, I felt like I didn't have a place or I didn't have a voice. And not only are these people, in the media or music artists or, poets or politicians, they mothers, fathers, they got hustles. Like, she got a lipstick line. The other dude, he was a barber. They have real hustles outside of what they do. So, I just think that's amazing. I think that's dope. All these people are multifaceted. And that's, when I was a kid, that's what I looked like to be one day. One day, I was like, I want to be this, but I want to be that. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a chef. And it was so serious to the point to where I was watching Alton Brown. If y'all know who Alton Brown is, he's a weird old dude on Food Network. I had a real bad thing with watching Bobby Flay on TV. And I don't know if anybody else went through that Bobby Flay, Guy Fieri type of phase, but I went through that phase as a 10-year-old. So I always wanted to be a chef, but it was I never seen any black chefs in my community. So I felt like it was unreachable for me. But now, I'm getting back in the habit of cooking. I love cooking. I ain't gonna say all big people like food, but I like food. I don't care. I like food. I like to eat food. I like to smell of food. I like to go. I like to walk to the grocery store to get something sweet and then come back home and be like, damn, I forgot to get this. So I go back again because I like food. So I just think we're reaching a point to where we're seeing African Americans put on a pedestal in industries that we've never been put on a pedestal in before. And in spaces that we've never been put on a pedestal before. We have some amazing Black educational experiences here in Kentucky. Do y'all not know that all the layouts for every HBCU in the United States started here in Louisville, Kentucky? The idea of their curriculum started here in Louisville, Kentucky. Shout out to Simmons. But it started here. It started here first. And people don't even look at Kentucky. That's some bullshit. We got some dope-ass people here. It really is. It's really some bull. But everybody wants to be I think to be popular and be cool, I don't think I'm gonna make it here. It's wonderful. It's hella people that are making it here, doing just fine. giving back to their community, don't want to move out of their community because this is the community that they was raised in. This is the community that supported them when they didn't have anyone. That's how I feel about, where I'm from. This is the community that supported me. We're going to commercial. I'll be right back after this. All right, we back from commercial break. And so I was talking about, people think, like in Kentucky, like it ain't never nothing to do. It ain't never nothing, blah, 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 blah. So it's a segment of my show called Getting Thicker, right? And I'm gonna get thick and I'm gonna tell y'all something about myself that people didn't know about me. When I first went away to college and I left home for the first time, I don't even know, not even college. When I first went to high school, like I was unaware of how I looked. Like I was just unaware of it. Like I went to a very, Christian private school, middle school, high school, and I was just unaware of all the beautiful Black women. I knew about Black history. Black history was something that pushed me to this point to leave my private school over Trayvon Martin. I went to a private school and they didn't understand the things that were going on in my community. And so I decided to say, okay, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of being different. I'm sick of being the standout kid. I'm sick of being like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hate going to a place and they treat you like the one token Black person. I hate that shit. I hate it. Why does the Black person gotta be a token? Why are they why is it that phrase, the token? Like, I hate that. I feel like, we can't be token. They see us like that in that space because they don't see us as equal. We're token because we're not equal. We're different. Why am I any different than anybody or any other kid that was in that classroom, right? But I was the one token. It was a couple Black kids in my classroom, but they had been in that type of schooling their whole life. So I felt different. My grandmother graduated from U of L, Pan-African Studies. So it's something that I was raised on, and I was different because I was so outward about it. Like I had a teacher, all the kids were wearing bandanas to school as headbands, right? So I wore mine. Why would I wear mine? I gotta look like Aunt Mama. So like, And it made me feel subconscious about myself. So I got in the 9th grade. I asked my mom. I had 2 like little small teeth, right? I was a bigger girl, so I ran track all summer. And when I came back to school, I went to the doctor. I actually went to the pediatrician, and the pediatrician asked my mom, was I doing something that I wasn't supposed to be doing because of the amount of weight that I had lost since the last time I came to the doctor. So, I must have felt some type of way about myself, right? So I asked my mom to get my teeth fixed because my teeth not always look like this. So I asked my mom to get my teeth fixed when I got in the 9th grade. And so she did. I got my teeth fixed, and I was like, I don't even want to wear my braids anymore. Because one time I got box braids, and when box braids first came back out in 2010, and they were really popular, people weren't getting micros and stuff anymore. People were getting box braids. They were long, but I'm already short. So my box braids were all the way down to my butt. And so the kids were at this school, other than, I had one really good friend, and she just really understood. I'm turning up because it's crazy because we ended up meeting each other in college, right? But she really understood what was going on in my world. And I don't know how she understood, but she did. And I had box braids, and they were really long. And the kids, oh my God, they just didn't know. And it wasn't because they were being rude or they were being nasty. They just didn't know. Now, I had some adults in that experience that did say nasty stuff to me as a student. I was told that I couldn't wear my Trayvon Martin button when Trayvon Martin died. They didn't understand. So right in that moment, while that was going on, I came to school, and I told my mom, I don't want to go back to this school. Okay, cool. She pulled me out. My first day of public school was at Southern High School. And I met all of my friends that I met at Southern, I am still friends with to this day. To this day, I'm still friends with them. I felt accepted. I felt like it was okay for me to be myself. And so from Southern, I went to Central, and I was not aware of the big booty thing. I was not aware of that. So I'm walking down the hallway, my first day at Central, because I had only been at Southern for half a semester. I was still in those private school shackles for a little bit. Not shackles, but I was still, latched on to that private school type of notion, that private school type of feel. I was still latched on to that. So for me to go to Central, I'm walking down the hallway, and the guy's just like, damn, you got a big ass. I'm like, what? I'm walking down. They was like, that girl got a big butt. I was like, what? And I was unaware of myself, of my curves, and myself evolving into a woman. I was unaware of it. And so I was drawn back and taken by myself, but I don't even think that I seen myself in that light. I never seen myself in a light of distraction because I just never seen it. I never seen myself. And then on top of that, people were when I got to Central, there were some people that were extremely intrigued by how smart I was. And coming from a private school where nobody pays attention to you or knows that, or, I guess, how they have like smart kids in class and like, they treat, the smart kids, oh, you're smart, blah, blah, blah. Nobody ever said that to me my whole time at this school. I actually had a teacher that said that it was not his job for him to teach me and that I was incompetent. In middle school, incompetent. I had a teacher who told my mom to her face that I was incompetent. So like for me to go to high school and for people to be like, oh, you're so smart. When I got into public school, for people to be telling me that I'm smart, I was just in awe, in total shock, because I never seen myself in that light. So I guess that's what gave me the confidence to carry through and be like, because I ain't gonna lie, like I did not think that I was gonna graduate from college. Like you could have asked me when I was 14 years old, did I see myself graduating from college? Probably would have said, I knew I was gonna go to college. I just didn't ever see myself graduating from college, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't. So when I got into high school, just being in those places where people are telling you that you're smart, being around other Black girls, in the classroom, and like us all having our hair the same, not exactly the same, but, everybody in the same style and aesthetic as you are, it makes you feel accepted. It makes you feel good about yourself. Not even being in the same aesthetic, but, not being the only person going through these situational things. It makes you feel good about who you are on the inside. And so I got to WKU and I felt like I was in the same situation that I was in when I was at this private school. I felt like I was in the same situation, right? I felt like I didn't have, I don't know, I felt like I was like so by myself. But you always meet these people, like my friend Udi, I had him on earlier this month. You always find these people in these groups of people that you relate to that help you pull through these experiences and show you light in the community that you're in. Like I did not have a community. I had a professor, shout out to Dr. Dawes, who took me under her wing and really just made sure that I was okay and that I maintained throughout college, because I ain't gonna talk about it, but I had a lot of stuff happen to me in college by people who couldn't understand differences in communities. So I think that it's dope to have people like Charles Booker, out here in their campaign, bringing these two differences to life, like from the hood to the holler. I think that that's just dope. I'll catch y'all back. We going to commercial. We are back from commercial. So this segment of my podcast is called Dropping Gems. And on this segment, I drop gems, like, I'm gonna tell you, give you some advice, right? Hell, I make a lot of mistakes. I do a lot of dumb shit. But it's hard for me, it's hard for me to not think about some of the things that I've overcame in my life to get to this point. Because I couldn't have gone through the tough periods to get to where I'm at now. Sometimes you gotta lock in with yourself. Like, everybody wants to have somebody, right? But you can't. You gotta lock in with yourself in order to know who you are. Like, I'm finding out new shit about myself every day, right? But sometimes you gotta go through those moments of loneliness to really figure out your next steps. Because there are people in life that are here to take you off your path. There are people in life that, their sole purpose of being in your life is to tell you that you cannot do something. There are people in your life that want to fuck up your environment and fuck up your space. Only just so they can have the satisfaction of making themselves feel bigger, because they can't feel big around the people that they want to feel big around. So it makes them feel good to put you down. And in those situations, everybody goes through these situations, right? And in those situations, when you come out of it, you're like, I don't know what it is to do. I don't know what it is to do. Be the best you that you can be. Be the you that people told you that you could not be. Like, I'm out here being the me that people told me that I could not be, right? People told me that in order for me to be able to do anything in life, the first step to do anything in life is that you gotta lose weight. That's number one. Because your appearance matters. It doesn't matter how smart you are. It's your appearance, right? But sometimes other people don't realize that the strategy that works for them don't work for you. Like, that shit don't work for me. Like, I'm me and you are you, right? So you gotta do what works for you. Don't do what works for other people. Do what works for you. Do what you wanna do. Do what makes you happy and what makes you feel powerful in the moment that be. Like, I hate to say it, but it's people dying every day. So if I died today, and I always say this to other people, if I died today, would you be satisfied with the last conversation that we had? Or would you be satisfied with your opinion of me? Would you be satisfied, or even knowing that you've done some fucked up things to people and you're just like, well, I've done some fucked up shit to people, yeah. And you keep doing the same repeatedly over again to feed your ego. How does it feel to know that you suck other people's ego to build your own? That's taken away from other people's character to build your character. And that doesn't make you real, and that doesn't make you original. Time after time after time after time after time again, there are people in life that just come to take a deuce on your ass, and then when you circle back and you get your lick back, as everybody says, get my lick back, you get your lick back, they won't come back and be like, hey, I see you doing good and blah, 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 blah. Well, fuck yeah, I was doing good when you met me, so why wouldn't I be doing good now? Don't let the naysayers and the people that come into your life bring you down, stop you from reaching a plateau in your life that makes you feel like you're on top of the world. Because it was at some moments where I feel like I was at the bottom. Like I'm around people and I feel like I'm their least favorite friend, or I'm at the bottom of their list, or I'm the last person that they would call. And if you got those type of people in your life, those are not the people that why are you staying around in their life to prove? Don't live your life to prove to other people what you can do. I'm not here to prove to anybody anything. I'm not proving to nobody, because I do what's on my heart. If you do what's on your heart, you don't gotta prove yourself to people. People already see how real you are, and people will see your passion through what you do, what naturally comes to you. Like, it's motherfuckers out here that want to prove, and like, I'm going to prove that I'm cool, so let me put on a bunch of cool ass shit and be fucked up to the people around me to prove that I'm cool so that I can fit in. But really, I'm just a big nerd. Like, I'm a blurred, I'm a nerd. Y'all know what I do when I go home? I'm gonna give me something sweet. Like my mama say, you need to stop getting something sweet every day. I eat something sweet every day. I don't care if it's a mini Snicker. I eat something sweet every day. If you have an issue with it, oh my God, go tell little Debbie. Matter of fact, tell her to bring me some more cakes. Tell her. But I eat something sweet every day. I get home, I go do something, I eat something sweet, and I watch Fairly Odd Parents. Y'all got an issue with it? Fairly Odd Parents is my show. It's one of my favorite shows. I watch it every day. But that's me being my greatest self. That's what makes me happy. Like getting home and indulging in a good cartoon. I love cartoons. Now, I don't know about anime. I ain't into that. But I love cartoons. I love Jimmy Neutron. I love Doug. I love Hey Arnold. I love The Simpsons. Those are the type of shows that I watch because those are the shows that make me happy. Those are the things that make me feel like those are the things that give me gratitude. I ain't gotta be, sometimes I'm on my phone. Look, I could be walking past somebody and I'm listening to It's the Best of Both Worlds. That's what I'm listening to in my headphones because that's what makes me feel good. People don't understand that you have to do what makes you feel good. Because if you're doing stuff to make you, to fit a certain criteria, or fit a certain mode, that's not making yourself feel good. That's putting you in the perception of what other people's expectations are of you. Just because I'm a black girl with a big booty, that don't mean that I'm out here, just whipping my Honda around all day. No, I got a real job. I got real responsibilities. That's just a part of who I am, but I have an intellect. I have a mind. If you ever want to know anything about the antebellum period, or I even say Afrofuturism, or African mythology, any type of those things, you ever want to learn about any of those things, I'm your girl. Talk to me. But those are the type of things that I do outside of who I am as a body, as a physical feature. My intellectual features are what makes me happy. The things on the inside of me don't make me happy. My outside appearance does not make me happy. Like, people think that when people go and get these crazy face jobs and stuff like that, it's making them happy. Like, the gratification, the feelings and the reactions of what they get from looking pretty and saying, oh, you look pretty, you look beautiful. the words is giving them emotional gratification of things that is on the inside of them, making them feel good. But it's not the physical appearance itself. Like, nobody wants to go get a plastic surgery to go through all that pain and suffering. That wasn't a beautiful phase for these people. Being put down and being told that you weren't beautiful all enough to make you change who you are as a person, that wasn't a beautiful outcome for these folks, you know? It's the gratification that they feel doing what makes them feel accepted or doing what makes them feel at their best is what makes them love who they are. So, you know, my key to life is I'ma be me. I'ma love doing the shit that I do. I love being thick. I love being fat. I love eating sweets. I love eating ramen. I love eating chicken wings and fries. I love talking my shit. I love writing. I love my family. These are the things that make me happy. What else makes me happy? Wingstop. I like Wingstop. I ain't gonna lie. Like a perfect day for me, ain't gonna lie. Chinese takeout, cartoons, walks outside. That's the type of date that I like. But these are the things that make me happy. Never let people or never let any type of hype persuade you from not doing what makes you happy. Like, a lot of people get into the hype of shit and they don't do what makes them happy because they trying to fit into the hype. Don't fit into the hype. Do what makes you happy, because not doing what makes you happy will soon lead off to making you depressed. So, you know, later on this month, like I said, I lost my father to suicide. Later on this month, I'm going to be having hopefully I'm going to be having some mental health professionals come in and talk about some things that deal with mental health and doing what makes you happy and being the you. Like Dr. Seuss says, there's no one youer than you. I don't know. I think that's his quote. But there's nobody youer than you. So I wanted to bring some mental health people in to talk about this because I lost my father to suicide, and people just not being understanding of what's going on in other people's situation, judging the exterior of things. So I said that I never wanted to be that type of person that judged things by the exterior. So that's what I got coming up this month. I know this episode was a little heavy, but I feel like everything I said needed to be said, and it's just celebrating the joy. I'm gonna let y'all know about my new job next week. I start my new job next Tuesday. So I'm gonna let y'all know how it goes. It's been nice talking to y'all. I'll see y'all next Friday. Peace. Like a perfect day for me, ain't gonna lie. Chinese takeout, cartoons, walks outside. That's the type of date that I like. But these are the things that make me happy. Never let people or never let any type of hype persuade you from not doing what makes you happy. Like, a lot of people get into the hype of shit and they don't do what makes them happy because they trying to fit into the hype. Don't fit into the hype. Do what makes you happy, because not doing what makes you happy will soon lead off to making you depressed. So, you know, later on this month, like I said, I lost my father to suicide. Later on this month, I'm going to be having hopefully I'm going to be having some mental health professionals come in and talk about some things that deal with mental health and doing what makes you happy and being the you. Like Dr. Seuss says, there's no one youer than you. I don't know. I think that's his quote. But there's nobody youer than you. So I wanted to bring some mental health people in to talk about this because I lost my father to suicide, and people just not being understanding of what's going on in other people's situation, judging the exterior of things. So I said that I never wanted to be that type of person that judged things by the exterior. So that's what I got coming up this month. I know this episode was a little heavy, but I feel like everything I said needed to be said, and it's just celebrating the joy. I'm gonna let y'all know about my new job next week. I start my new job next Tuesday. So I'm gonna let y'all know how it goes. It's been nice talking to y'all. I'll see y'all next Friday. Peace.